All right. Welcome, everybody. It's really nice to be in a space where I feel like we have a shared, uplifted attitude about the world. So my one of the things I've been feeling, and one of the things we're going to kind of play with this evening, is how change is usually this like slow process, right? So we have work to do, and sometimes our work looks like nothing's happening, but of course we know that our concerted efforts and our intentions, they sometimes pay off in a really big way, right? So we'll move a little bit more slowly this evening. We'll breathe a ton. We're going to get started. If you have blocks, you'll want them for sure for a variety of iterations this evening. We're going to start in a supported hero's pose, like a virasana. So I usually only need one block, but Chris needs two. So if you need 0 or 1 or 2, you're in good company. I like to put the block the long ways underneath my sits bones instead of like the short way, so that my sits bones are kind of rolling over the edges. So you set up the way that makes most sense for you. And what I care about the most is that your ankles and your knees feel very little in the way of sensation here. And if you're stacking your blocks, I always like to put the stable one, the one with the more surface area at the bottom, and stack on top of that so that it's less wobbly. And then when you get there, bring one of your hands to your belly and one of your hands to your heart, and let your eyes flutter shut if that's okay. And let your awareness rest on the rise and fall of your physical shape as you fill up with breath. So you inflate and deflate. Still, this doesn't feel quite right in this moment. Not cat and cow quite yet. Just rock forward a little bit and rock back a little bit. And see if you can locate this place where you're pointing towards your true north, right? Hips grounded. You can wiggle around on the sits bone so that your weight is very evenly distributed right side to left side. I feel like we could do an entire practice on just that and bringing alignment into the sacrum. And then feel the shoulders stack just on top of the hips, and the ears slide back so that they're just on top of the shoulders. All the while maintaining this awareness of breath and softening everything else that's just not necessary in this moment. So the jaw doesn't have to clench. The forehead can smooth. Your shoulders can ungrip. You can keep your eyes closed. The hand that's on your belly, turn your palm up so you have this like cup shape with your palm. Doesn't matter which hand is which. And then let your hand that's on your chest just kind of close the cup so you have this kind of yin yang vessel at your navel area, your solar plexus, this reminder of your infinite strength. If your eyes closed or open, it really doesn't matter to me. Extend your arms up and overhead towards the sky. Interlace your fingers together behind the base of your skull. Widen your elbows. Use your hands as a mitt for your head. Lean your head back into your hands As you lean your head back, your hands are serving as this like reminder for your jaw, your neck to stay soft. As you exhale, round the spine, let the elbows draw towards each other as you come into this big cat shape. And then inhale, head pushes back into the hands, the elbows widen, the chin kind of tilts up. Soften the jaw, soften the neck, and see if you can slow your breath and match the movement to this really deep, long cycle of breath you're creating instead of the other way around. The next time you inhale, just come up towards a neutral spine. Keep your right hand behind the base of your skull. Release your left hand towards the back of the mat. It can stay on the left. As you inhale, push into your left hand. Tilt your right elbow up, kind of arc your right side body. As you exhale, curl in. Tap your right elbow towards your left thigh. It won't touch. Just feel that like asymmetrical cat-cow action. And then inhale, elbow up towards the sky. Lean your head back into your hands. Roll your left shoulder onto your back. Exhale, right elbow towards left thigh. Do a few more. And play with what happens if you bend into your left elbow a little bit more versus keeping the arm super straight. You can access something a little bit different. The next time you inhale, send your right arm all the way up and overhead. So you're releasing the base of your skull. And then arc the right arm up and overhead. Plant the palm behind you so you're in this like weird supported camel pose. Bend both elbows, roll the shoulders onto the back. Breathe here. Puff your chest up. Slide your throat back, slide your ears back. And then keep your right hand down. Release the left hand, find the base of the skull. As you inhale, lean your head back into your hand, elbow towards the sky. As you exhale, curl in on yourself, left elbow towards right knee, right outer thigh, and then move very slowly. Block, plant your palms, just come into a tabletop position. You can move your blocks off towards the top of your mat, and then you can tap the tops of your feet down, move through some really traditional cats and cows. If you would like something for underneath your knees, it's just a little extra padding. You'll find it not in the way. And then thread the needle. Right arm reaches over to the left. Come down onto your right shoulder, right cheek. Use your left fingertips to push down into the floor. And then slide your hips over to the right a little bit. And just sway slowly. Right? Breathe in a whole inhale to slide your hips over to the right. And then let it go. Less effort. Just let them drift back to the left. Do that a few times. And then come back to table, right palm to the ground. Move through one round of cat-cow if you'd like. And then same thing, second side, left fingertips slide over to the right, tent up on your right fingertips here. Push down into the ground, slide your hips over to the left. And then just let them kind of rock. Good. come back to table. Keep your knees as they are. Stack your hips over your knees and then walk your hands out in front of you for Anahatasana, heart melting pose. So walk your hands out as far as they'll go. Keep your hips tacking back and then hug your elbows towards each other. Start to melt your heart back and down and then pause. Notice if the eyes of your elbows are starting to point in, keep the elbows wrapping down. Let your forehead come to the mat. Breathe here. The next time you inhale, bring your navel towards your spine, just like a little bit of a cat. As you exhale, really let your belly collapse down. 2 more just like that. Belly to spine. Let it go. Last one, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, slither your way onto your belly or for Sphinx pose for a moment. And come all the way down onto your forehead. Slide your hands at your low ribs like you are going to take a baby cobra pose. Pause. Spread through the fingers here. On an inhale, lift your chest. Just the babyest of cobras. Nod and shake your head for a moment. Really free up and clear the neck. Breathe into the side body. The next time you inhale, lift your right leg off the mat. Lift your chest a little higher. As you exhale, put your right foot down, put your forehead down. Inhale, lift your chest. Flow your left leg. Exhale, lower your forehead down, left foot down. Inhale, both feet lift, chest lifts. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, push your way back to child's pose. The knees can widen. Circle your right hand all the way to the sacrum. So the top of the right hand rests on the low back. Left hand stacks on top of the right hand. And then like you could give yourself a hug with the tops of your arms, your tricep, and just squeeze in. And then release the left fingertips back towards the top of the mat. Roll your elbow in and down and then rock. Left, right, left, right. Right hand comes towards the top of the mat. Left hand circles behind you. Find the sacrum at the top of the hand. Right hand stacks on top. Give yourself a squeeze with your upper arm bones. Right fingertips to the top of the mat. Roll the elbow down, rock right. Rock left. One more. Rock right. Left hand to the top of the mat. Then roll your spine. Roll your way up to stand on your shins. Bring your hands to your hip points. Bring the knees in. Send your hips forward. Lean your heart up and back. Modified camel pose. Draw your belly in to stand up straight. Step your right foot forward towards the top of the mat. Use your hands to level off your hips. Sink into the right knee. Let your hips really drift forward. Feel the opening in the back of the thigh of the back leg. And then push into the back of the foot so you're really feeling that. Drop your ribs down. See if you can tuck your tailbone a little bit. Inhale, arms to the sky. Now, lightly imagine you are grabbing a pole overhead. And then with a lot of effort, like you are doing a chin up. Don't grip the bar. Just use it with the strength of your upper arms. Drag the arms down, bend the elbows like you were doing a chin up. Use your belly. Inhale, arms to the sky. Push into your back foot. Exhale. Goal post the arms, chest up. Inhale, belly to spine, arms overhead. Last one, exhale, goal post the arms. Inhale, arms to the sky. As you exhale, float the hands down, frame your right foot, take a breath in. As you exhale, grab your blocks if you'd like, half split. Let's stay here. Hug the knee and the heel towards each other. Put your right sits bone into its socket. And then please feel free to round into the upper back here. No problem. Prepare. This is your last breath. Come into the inner part of the heel more. And then inhale, bend into your right knee. Walk your hands forward, tuck your left toes. Step your left foot forward to meet your right foot. Inhale, roll your way all the way up to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to your solar plexus. Find that closed shaped vessel and bend your knees like a mini chair pose. It doesn't have to be a lot. Stay with your left knee bent. Inhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. And pause, balance on your left foot. Wobble a little bit, no problem, keep breathing. Your hands are a reminder to keep your belly in and up. And then start to tilt the heart forward. Thread the right leg back. You can keep both knees bent. You're passing through a modified warrior 3, but you don't have to bend any, you don't have to straighten anything right now. Breathe in, take a long breath. And then step way to the back of the mat with the right toes. Come into a crescent lunge. Inhale, arms to the sky. Push your left leg straight. Spin your right heel down. Come to the middle of the mat, forward fold. Let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go. And bend into one knee at a time. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, crawl back to the top of the mat. Frame out your left foot. Spin onto the ball of your right foot. Walk your hands forward again, standing split. You can make this a mellow one. Hands to blocks, no problem. Feel your left hip crease slide up and back, like you could squeeze your inner thighs towards the midline. Good, let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go, lift your right leg a tiny bit higher, and then step your right foot down to meet your left foot. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, plant your palms. Step your way back to child's pose. Put the right knee down perhaps before you step the left knee back. Child's pose, knees can stay towards each other a little bit. Roll your way up to stand on the shins, hands to hips. Modified camel pose. Heart lifts, throat slides back. Belly into spine. Step your left foot to the top of the mat. Use your hands to guide the hips forward. Push into the back foot. Feel the front of the right thigh open up a lot, and then arms to the sky lightly. Grab a pole. We'll do this 3 times as you exhale. Bend the elbows, lift the chest as you tug your arms down. Lots of effort, little movement. Inhale, arms to the sky. 2 more. Inhale. Last one. Inhale, arms rise, exhale. Frame your left foot. Half split with or without your blocks. Point all 5 toes up towards the sky. The tendency is to roll onto the outer part of the heel. So you have to, on purpose, roll to the inside of the heel. And then tug the knee and the left ankle heel towards each other. So your left hip crease is really plugging into the socket. Take 1 more breath. You're more than welcome, I didn't say this, to round into the back. Go ahead. And then inhale, bend into the knee. Walk your hands forward, tuck your right toes, step your right foot forward to meet your left foot. Inhale, roll your way up to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, find a little vessel at your solar plexus. Inhale. Exhale, knees bend. Arms don't have to rise. Stand on your right foot. Bring your left knee in towards your belly. Don't rush. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. Your hands are a reminder to keep your belly in, right? Your fire, you're stoking it. Stay here. And then start to tilt forward. Thread your left leg back. Slowly, slow is the key here. Feel the way that builds this internal heat. You're like stoking your own fire. Stay. Inhale. Heart forward, shoulders back. Big step towards the back of the mat. Arms to the sky. Crescent lunge. Push your right leg straight. Turn all 10 toes to center. Exhale, fold. And nod and shake the head. Maybe bend into one knee at a time. Crawl to the top of the mat, frame out your right foot, spin onto the ball of the left foot, standing split. Let your head go. Let your knees bend a little bit so it's less showy, right? You're not getting as much height, but you're really engaged. Last breath, inhale. Good. Left foot meets the right foot, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your left foot back, left knee down. Right knee meets left knee. Child's pose variation, shift back. Inhale, stand on the shins, hands to the hips, little camel pose. Right foot steps forward, let your hips sink down, inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, goal post the arms, really pull, use yourself as resistance. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat, half split. Inhale, bend into your right knee, walk your hands forward. Left foot meets right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, knees bend, arms rise, chair. Exhale, make a little vessel. Stand on your left foot, right knee in towards your belly. Shift forward. Thread your right leg back, pause. Lift your left hip a little bit more. Breathe. Heart forward, jaw soft, neck soft. Big step back. Inhale, arms rise, crescent lunge. Push your left leg straight, spin your right heel down, goddess pose. Bend into both knees, make a vessel at your belly again. I have my left hand on top here. We're gonna flow a little bit. Sink into the knees. Stick your butt back, but then draw your belly in. Breathe here. And slide your right hand onto your right forearm onto your right thigh, left arm slips overhead. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh, right arm reaches overhead. Bring your left hand towards your navel. As you come up to goddess again, right hand closes your vessel. Inhale, push your legs straight. Turn your toes in. Fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, crawl to the top of the mat. Frame out your left foot, standing split. Please, right leg to the sky. Push down into your fingertips. So you're not really bearing weight. And then push the ground away as your belly comes closer towards your thigh. Let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go. Let your breath stay soft. Inhale. Exhale, step your right foot to meet your left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Right foot steps back. You can take child's pose here. Maybe you're feeling prepared for a plank. I still don't feel like it. Inhale, roll. If you're in plank, knees down, roll up to this modified camel. Use your hands to push your hips forward. Maybe you're feeling this opening in the chest and the thighs. Use your belly, come back up to stand on the shins. Step your left foot forward. Use your hands to sink the hips down. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, goal post the arms. Really imagine you are like working for every centimeter. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat. Breathe in. Push your left leg straight. Fold. Inhale, bend into the knee. Walk your hands forward. Step your right foot to meet your left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Inhale, knees bend, arms rise. Hands come to make this little vessel at your belly. Stand on your right foot. Bring your left knee in towards your belly. Thread the leg back. Go slowly. See if you can super stabilize that right leg. It burns. Ooh, slow, big breath in. Big step back. Crescent lunge, arms to the sky. And then push your right leg straight. Spin your left heel down. Bend both knees, goddess. Left hand underneath this time for that solar plexus mudra. Widen the knees. Stick the butt back. Drive the whole upper body back and then curl the tailbone underneath you. Slide your left arm onto your left thigh, right arm overhead. Switch right forearm to right thigh, left arm overhead. Bring your right pinky finger just underneath the navel as you come back to goddess. Left hand closes the bowl. Inhale, push the legs straight, turn the toes in, hold. Breathe in. Crawl your way to the top of the mat, frame your right foot. Standing split, just to fingertips. And then use your fingertips, push the fingertips down into the floor and push the floor away. So your forehead comes a little closer to the knee. Breathe in and out, no rush. Breathe in, soft shoulder, soft jaw. The left foot meets right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back. Left knee down, right knee meets left knee. Weird child's pose. And then roll up to stand on the shins, dolphin. Not dolphin, camel. Lift your heart. Good. Exhale, sit back on the heels. Walk your hands forward, come to table. Breathe in, let your belly drop, let your heart lift. Exhale, push into the hands, round into the back. Inhale, belly drops, heart lifts. Exhale, round into the back. Step your right foot wide of your right pinky finger. Wiggle your left knee back. Hug the thighs in towards the midline and plant your right palm on top of your right thigh. Push down into your left hand. Roll the left shoulder onto the back and then push your right hand into your right thigh for a very juicy twist. While you're here, these poses, even though we pause in them for a few breaths, they never have to be static. So the more subtle you can get with your movements, the more you'll really notice the way we're integrated. So see how small you can make a cat and cow even here, right? Like by sucking your belly in, and then letting your heart really open, letting your spine arch. That changes a lot of things. Let your jaw be soft. Let your neck be soft. Look down. Release your right hand inside your right foot. Take a wide variation of a half split. Curl the toes up. And then this time, instead of rounding into the back, more of a heart forward action. As you're doing that, just like we did in standing split, claw your fingertips into the mat, push your fingers down and away as you send your heart forward. Good. Last breath, inhale. Good. Put your right foot back on the mat, bend into your right knee, wiggle the right foot a little bit more towards the midline. Bring your right hand up onto your right shin, take a hold. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, spin your left heel down, and then reach your left fingertips up towards the sky. So you're coming into extended side angle in a really weird way. Think about scooping your right sits bone underneath you, and maybe sending your left arm overhead. Let your shoulder plug onto the back, or if it's useful to you, bring your hand to the base of your skull as nothing more than a reminder to stay soft right there. Keep breathing, inhale. Stay for the exhale. Breathe in. Last one, breathe out. As you inhale, use your legs. You can push your right leg straight. Come up all the way to a reverse triangle pose. Straighten your right leg. Reach your right arm overhead. Whew. Triangle. Right fingertips reach forward. Right hand finds the top of your shin. Left arm can reach up towards the sky. Send your right sits bone towards your left heel. Lengthen your right side body. Soften your neck, soften your jaw. Roll your right shoulder open. Breathe in. Bring your left hand to your left hip, please. Look down. Bend into your right knee. If you have a block, you might want it for half moon. If you don't want it, you don't need to grab it. Push off your left foot. Keep your left hip stacking right on top of your right hip and open up towards the left for half moon. If you feel pretty stable here, you can float your left fingertips up. Just like some of the things we've been working on with your right hand. It could be on fingertips, light touch. Push down into the block or the floor. Slide the block away. Feel your right ribs rotate more to the left as you do that. Flex your left foot. Lift your left leg a little higher. Breathe in. And out. Inhale, patience. Exhale, soften into your right knee. Take a big step back, warrior two. Slowly, softly. Let's stay on the right leg. Push your right leg straight, sail up and back, reverse your triangle pose. Triangle. This time your left arm can float up or all the way up and overhead. When I do that, I like to turn my gaze down. And then really subtle, even here, play with like a cat and a cow action. How that changes what happens in the left waistline. Ooh. Good. Left hand to left hip, bend into your right knee, half moon pose, come right back into it. This time option, as you feel a little bit more stable, bend into your left knee, maybe reach for the left foot with your left hand. Take a big bow, kick your foot into your hand, draw your belly in, recall that fire plexus right at the navel. Good. Come back to half moon if you took the bow. Slowly step way back to warrior two. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot. Spin up onto the ball of your left foot. Take a weird child's pose transition up to a camel. Sit on your heels, walk your hands forward, table. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart. Exhale, round. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart. Exhale, round. Step your left foot wide of your left hand. You can wiggle the right knee back until you feel the right amount of sensation. Climb your left hand up onto your left thigh. So this is a lot of isometric actions here. The right hand, push down into the right hand, and then think about sliding it to the right. As I do that, even if I did nothing else, I feel my right shoulder coming in towards the midline. And then I get even more of a twist when I push my left hand down and the left knee gets sent kind of in a forward direction. And then soften the neck, soften the jaw, and maybe play with that really subtle action of cat and cow in the spine. Like if I were to look at you, I wouldn't even be able to tell you were moving. Good. Last 2 breaths here. Make them slow. Make them count. Make them really meaningful. And then unwind. Left hand to the mat. Standing split. Keep your left, not standing split, half split. Keep your left leg wide. And then this time, not rounding into the spine. Send your heart way forward. And then with your fingertips, send the mat forward. And breathe. Yes. And bend into the left knee again. Wiggle the foot a little bit towards the midline. Take a hold of your left shin with your left hand. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Spin the heel down. And then reach the right fingertips towards the sky for this weird approach to a familiar pose. Scoop your left sits bone underneath you. Push your your left elbow into your left knee. Push your left knee against your left elbow. Breathe. Excellent. Last breath in. Stay for the breath out, no rush. Start to push your left leg straight. Inhale all the way to a reverse triangle pose. Oh. Trikonasana, left fingertips reach forward. Lengthen your left side body. Right fingertips float up towards the sky. You can keep your gaze anywhere that doesn't aggravate the neck. Yes, good breath. Settle in. Change is sometimes this very slow, very painstaking process of staying with something. Right? We have no idea how long things are going to take. Good. And then half moon. Right hand to hip. Bend into your knee. Grab your block if you're using it. I love me some block here. And then stand on the left foot. Stack right hip on top of left hip. So your hips were like the headlights of a car shining towards a wall of your home. Ooh. Yeah, this one's harder. Maybe right fingertips float up. Feel your left ribs rotate around the front body. This is like your practice round. We're going to do it again. You already know that. So feel free to wobble. You have one more breath. Inhale. Good. Slowly step back. Warrior two. Ooh. Straighten your left leg. Flip your left palm, sail up and back. Triangle. Maybe your right arm sweeps overhead this time. Shoulders stay soft. Notice where you're putting in a lot of effort, and it's just not necessary. Right hand back to right hip. Look down, bend into the left knee. Half moon. This time, option to take the bow. Whew. Breathe wherever you are. Slow your breath. Feel your belly as that center of a forever flame. Slowly, slowly, slowly release your foot. Step back to warrior two, land. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Spin up onto the ball of the right foot. Last time, weird child's pose. Inhale, roll your way up to camel. Seat to heels, hands to the top of the mat. Elbows down, dolphin pose. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Push into the elbows, lift out of the shoulders. Let your head go. Let your neck go, let your jaw go. Walk your feet in a little bit more if you can. Send your sits bones high to the sky. Draw your belly in, almost like you could curl your sits bones down towards your heels. Breathe. Child's pose. Make a pillow for your head with your hands. Slow your breath. Breathe into the back body. Breathe into the side body. Come back up to table. Take pigeon pose. If pigeon pose aggravates your knees or your hips or anything that it's not intended to agitate, you can either take another variation of wide lizard and let the toes wing out, let the knee wing out, or you can take this on your back. I'll do one and then the other. So if you're on your back, you don't have to do a whole lot of like sitting up, lying back down, okay? And then if it feels good for you, and then we'll do a lot of forward folding to kind of counteract how many camels we've done. So if you'd like, tent up on your fingertips, peel your chest up and open. Enjoy all the space you've made. Draw your belly and lift up a little higher. And then if you're taking pigeon, let it just be a restful pigeon. If you're on your back, you can make this the twist, like the figure 4 twist. That gets me into my hip. You can also make it like a modified, how many people are on their back? Can't really see. Well, you don't have to tell me. Don't get up from whatever you're doing. You can also do a modified like Gomukhasana legs, right side just on top of left thigh, and then hug your legs in. So everyone should have something that feels suitable for where they are today. And everyone should be in their right hip area. We'll just stay for another few breaths. All right, so that the hip, it's so worthwhile to be in some of these shapes for more than a second or two, right? Because here what we're doing is not building strength. We're not building anything. We're actually unbuilding some of the tension, some of the resistance that we hold in this area. And I notice in my own practice when I'm in a hip opener or a more subtle pose, something happens after 8 breaths or something. The body responds in a different way. So let's be patient enough with this pose to observe the response, the wisdom of the body. Last breath, breathe in. Stay for the breath out. And then walk your hands back if you're in pigeon. Any way you want to come out of this is totally fine with me. I actually am ready for a down dog variation at this point. You don't have to do that. You can neutralize in a way that feels good to you. And then we're simply going to switch sides. So whatever the body's telling you to do, it's right. Move on to your second side. If you're in pigeon with your shin slid towards the top of your mat, maybe you want to float the heart up, 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 up. And then come onto your forearms. Maybe use a block for your forehead. Keep breathing. Let the sound of your own voice, the sound of your own breath, be this mechanism for self-soothing. The rhythmic nature of your inhales and your exhales. Last few breaths. Whatever your exit strategy was on the first side, check it out again on the second side. Come out nice and slow. Be sweet with yourself. And then if you're lying down, think about rocking yourself up to sit. If you were in some kind of table or down dog, just walk or step your feet forward. We'll meet in a seat at the top of the mat, and then bring your feet together. Let your knees drop out wide. Before you fold here, we're not going to do anything else effortful. If you want to start putting on your layers, you're in good company. It takes me a long time to do that. I have so many. So slide your feet in and out a few times until you find the place that feels the most natural for them. Let's make this pretty mellow as we segue to rest. And when you get to that place, then start to fold forward. Again, if you have blocks, they're really helpful here to create a ledge for your forehead. So everything is softening, right? Let the whole body get the memo that there's not a lot of work left to do anymore. Let the spine round. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears. Let your breath slow. Let your inner fire kind of cool. I'm pretty sure everyone has something that at least looks like a block. So if you'd like a lot more out of this experience, keep your feet and legs in the exact same arrangement that they're in, but slide the block underneath your feet and still fold forward, and see if that gives you a little bit of a different sensation. Ooh. Last breath in. Open mouth, sigh out. Good. Roll up to sit. And then use your hands to make your way onto your back. You can bend the knees here, put the feet on the floor. Widen your arms to a T. Let your knees drop over to the left. Just like you did with the feet, sliding them in and out. Check out a little bit what happens when you bring the knees closer to the upper arm versus like lower down, and where you can set the knees up to kind of get into the upper back a little bit. And then turn your head all the way to the left. And turn your head up through center. And turn your head a little bit to the right, as far as it'll go comfortably. And just make a smaller range of motion than you just did, like trace rainbow shape with your nose on your ceiling. Breathe deeply. Come out of this side very slowly. Pause in the center, feel the difference side to side. Oh. Set up for that deep twist on the second side. So the knees, for me, have to come a little bit closer towards the arm to get into the middle back, the upper back. Then it feels worth it. And then make a rainbow shape. Full range of motion. Roll around on the back of your head. And start to make a smaller range of motion within that same arc trajectory. Maybe your arcs get so small that you find perfect north above you. Bring your knees back through center. Keep the feet on the floor again, or you can extend the legs long, maybe even feet together, knees drop out wide. Think about setting up for something that if you're ready for Shavasana is, your final resting shape. If you feel like you need one more stop along the way, let it be very subtle. Let everything be supported. No huge sensations here. And then find the true north again with the tip of your nose. And start to, over towards the right, start this figure 4 shape. So make a big loop to the right, circle down and around to the left. This big figure 4. I mean infinity. And then switch directions. No kinks in the neck. Instead of speed or making the shape really big, go for smoothness. Let your infinity signs stop the next time the nose is pointing towards your true north. And make your way into Shavasana. Legs extend long, arms extend at your sides. Don't make contact with anything that you're not touching on purpose. Something that's intentionally adding to your experience. Bring your awareness to the place where your back body meets the mat. Trace the line from the heels, up the calves, up the backs of the legs to the glutes, the low back, the broad part of your mid back, the upper back. Feel the arc of your cervical spine, the back of your neck, the base of your skull. Let that whole line soften. Let the thumbs soften. Let the eyeballs soften. Let yourself drift off. Receive a deeper inhalation through your nose. Feel yourself fill up again. Feel yourself coming back to life. So make small movements with your fingertips, with your toe tips. Maybe roll over onto your left side if that's helpful on your way up to sit. Wherever you are, use your hands to help you. Just come to a seated position. Let your eyes stay closed. Just like we did at the beginning, bring a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart. Observe, shift. During the practice, it's really hard to tell what's happening. Like it's really hard to pinpoint the moment of change. But even in an hour's time, with effort, with focus, it's observable, it's palpable. Bring the hand that's on your heart to just cover the hand that's on your belly, or your inner fire. Let the heat from your solar plexus radiate and warm the hands. And let the hands with the warmth of your belly cover your heart. And bow your chin to your chest in a gesture of all the wisdom that lies in your own heart space. Thank you so much for being here this evening, for sharing this practice, for being part of this virtual community that is really sustaining a lot of us. Have a beautiful night, my friends. Namaste. Namaste.